Hari Om. In the Adhyaya of Karma Yoga, almost every Hindu has heard quite often Karmanyevadhikaraste, ये तुम्हारा कर्म है, this is what you are supposed to do, don't expect any fruit out of it. And majority of the times at a superficial level, it's all spoken, discussed. But if Bhagavad Gita has given so much of stress upon Bhagavad Gita, on Karma Yoga, there has to be something more deep to it. And that is why different facets of Karma Yoga are being described in different manners, different ways, so that Partha gets it into his head that what is the exact significance of Karma Yoga. You cannot act unless you have some motivation. As Balaji Maharaj said, motivation has to be there. Or you get motivated, but don't have the desire. If the mother decides not to have the baby, she will never become a mother. The desire to have a baby will make her mother. So how can you say that without desire you work? So you are married and the woman says that, I don't know, I may get a baby, I may not get a baby. The desire is there to become a mother, or the motherhood is ingrained in her, which prompts her to think on the family in the family way. So then where is the question, where is that line that bifurcates the desire from the motivation? What is the propelling thing? The desire or the motivation? The very fact that I'm aware of these things in the world, and I am also aware that things in the world are different than me, that is the origin of desire. I don't desire a finger for myself. I already have it. That which is not mine creates a desire. And that which is not mine is a mental construct. If everybody is mine, where is the question of desire? The fact that everything around me is not me and I want them is the origin of desire. To give an example, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Thakurda, when he had this malignancy of larynx, the cancer, it was very difficult to even take a small drop of water or a porridge. All the disciples got very irritated, not happy with the condition of their guru. So they said, Gurudev, you speak to Kalima on a daily basis. Why don't you ask her that, please, make me little better, at least to drink water? She will definitely oblige you, because you are bhakta par excellence. And as a innocent child's style, Thakurda agreed, spoke to Kalima. Kalima, I just want a little bit of relief from the cancer so that I can drink water. And that is what the disciples want, not me. The disciples are asking for it. So when he came back, the disciples asked anxiously, Thakurda, what happened? He said, Kalimata said that, how do you think that you are drinking from your mouth only? Billions of mouths everywhere, are they not yours? And the Thakur said, then I came back because what she said is right. If all word belongs to me, where is the question of me and they, my throat and somebody else's throat? So desire, the kama, originates from the mental construct that I am the body. And the one who thinks I am the body, or the one who has this differentiation between me and they, this very concept of ego is that. What is an ego? every single thought that makes me feel that I am different than others is ego. And that is why Gurudev has given an absolute fantastic one-time remedy for it. How do you reduce your ego? By not working for you. Whenever we don't work for ourselves, the ego starts melting. Why? Because you are now thinking of others as me. Anybody in need being helped by me gives me pleasure. Actually, his wound is getting healed. Why are you getting pleasure? The pleasure is coming from the fact, sir, that that gentleman whose wound you are trying to cure is nothing else but you yourself. A small, innocent 3-4 months infant on somebody's shoulder gives you extreme happiness. He has not even touched you. From where the happiness came? It came because you thought you are him. Everything where we think of others reduces the ego to that extent. Now, the one who has done this is called a Chitta Shuddha Sadhaka. Those who think of themselves only, those who work from the egocentric station are Chitta Ashuddha. So the one who is a Chitta Shuddha Sadhaka is the one who is competent to perform the karma. Others are not. Such a competent person who is not having egocentric activity, who is always working for others, who is not self-centered, is called Yuktaha. And the most important part is, nobody can do karma phala tyaga unless he is yukta. Yuktaha karma phalam tyaktva. The logic corollary of this is, yuktaha only are karma phala tyaktavan. So if I want to give up, because Gita told me that karmanyevadikaraste, from tomorrow onwards, I'm going to give him phalaki ichha, the desire for the fruits I'm going to give up. You cannot. Why? You're working from the egocentric activity and you're talking about giving up the fruits. Not possible, sir. It is like a barren woman saying that I want to get a child. You will never get it. So to become yukta or to become chitta shuddhata, to get the chitta shuddhata, the action has to be always not from ego center, but from a magnanimous center which is based in others. Mahatma Gandhi, Bapuji, never in his life he did anything for himself. Read all his biographies, his personal biography, Experiments with Truth, till about 1921. He wrote every incident of his, being truthful. Rest was his open public book. Show me one single act of Bapu where he said, oh, this I did for myself. Every minute he was spinning on the wheel so that this could be of some use to the poor person. Wanted to liberate, do the freedom struggle so that everybody gets the liberty, the freedom. Working for others, you become yuktaha. And then when I work for myself, I get things for myself. I worked very hard and got a Mercedes Benz. This is something understood. Why are you working hard? I want a Mercedes Benz. Agreed. But why this person is working so hard for the others? What is he getting? What is the reward? And Krishna Bhagavan is telling us the reward is Shantim apnoti naishthikam. Shanti comes from the Shama dhatu. Shama is dousing the fire. When you become passionless, what is passionlessness? What is a Shama? What is a dousing the fire? The fire can only be doused when there is no desire. Desire for karma phala. How do I get that karma phala desire completely vanished? By becoming yuktaha. How do I become yuktaha? By working for others. Then what happens? Saha, that person, apnoti neshthikam, na prapti. He doesn't get, he attains. Sanskrit is very, very precise. Apnoti. Apnoti is that which is pre-existing. When obtained is called attainment. Kirti Chakra is always there in army. Paramavira Chakra, Mahavira Chakra is always there. Somebody who does the valorous act attains to that. The sthiti is attainable. Sthiti is always pre-existing. So Shanti is always a pre-existing. It is not available for everyone because they are not yukta. So ayukta doesn't get Shanti, but the one who is yukta and is naturally authored to, he has an authority, he has a complete command on giving up the karma phalas, he attains to Shanti. And Shanti is nothing else but the other side of a coin called happiness or bliss. So the first line of the shloka gives the secret of bliss, which is nothing else but Shanti. What about those who are not like that? The second line talks about the blister. The first line is bliss, the second line is blister. Ayuktaha. Ayuktaha means the one who works from egocentric point. And in all activities of life, right now while speaking on Bhagavad Gita, if the intention is to share the knowledge with everybody so that everybody gets enriched, which is the noble intention of Gurudeva, if this is put into egocentric perspective that this is a forum where I should come and show my erudition scholarship to everybody and cha jayenge, everybody will appreciate you, sir, you have already become ayukta. Ayuktaha, the one who is not qualified, he cannot do karma phala tyaga. Then what is his definition? He will always be phala asakta. And phala asakta means something that is yet to come, that only you can become phala asakta, because phala is always in future. Phala is never in past or present. Something that is in offing. Now the question is, the phala which is in future is already shaped by the past and the present. So there is not a surprise that is going to come. Boya ped babhool ka, aam kahan se hoye? It is impossible that in future you will get a starkly different result. I have not studied at all for the examination, but I am hoping to stand first in the class. It is utter stupidity. That is why phala apeksha, in fact, should never be done, because that phalam is already written down by your present act. I have not been doing any yajna tapa dana in my life. I have not even given regular contribution to my Gurudeva's organization also. I have never worked very hard for the work that I am doing. I have never taken it as a yajna. I have never undergone any austerities for myself for the sake of knowledge. Yet I am expecting that I want to be mumukshu and mukta. What is the point in expecting that phala, because it will not come? Even the Lord cannot change that phalam. Although kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum shakti is there with the Lord, which he uses for some specific occasions, in a normal case, the karmashaya siddhanta will go according to the rule already set into the motion. Yantra rudhani mayaya. Arjuna, I have already spun this wheel with a rule, and the rule is, what have you done, you shall reap in future. Now the question is, why should I be expecting the results? No, but sir, I worked very hard. There was a person who hardly worked. He got 3 promotions and I'm still not getting it. But sir, you are talking about the current work in the office that you are doing. The result of this karma coming this way is because of your past prarabdha, where as a senior you have denied a promotion to a deserving person, so you are getting it now. Every karma and phala siddhanta has been attached with each other in a manner which only the Lord knows. Karmana gahano gati. So such a person who is yuktaha gets shantim as a reward. And regarding shanti, Gurudeva had said, the mental condition in the bosom of an individual when his inner world is not, the most important word is agitated. Chitta or the antakaran is always pristine and calm. Lord has given us chitta and antakaran like a clean crystal, pristine and calm. Every thought is a scratch or a blow on the surface of the lake which distorts the reflection of Lord. So every agitation which comes from vritti, the agitation of the chitta is called vritti. That is why what is shanti? Shanti is yoga. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Second sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutra after Atha Yoga Anushasana. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. No vritti, no agitation. And the main reason for agitation is ego, ahankara, and egocentric activities which are reflected in the form of desire. हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान, फिर भी कम निकले. And that is why we are always in a sorrowful condition. But the reason for that is this: we don't know the karma yoga. बेखुदी बेसबब नहीं गालिब, कुछ तो है जिसकी पर्दादारी है. This is that पर्दादारी. What is the main reason? Desire propelled activity boosting the ego, and then ego and desires playing with each other in each successive generation, either putting me up into the ladder or low into the ladder, but going up and down in the ladder continues, which is called samsarati iti samsaraha. If now this is the case, the selfless action undertaken in the spirit of yajna is the only way out. A constant desire making activity or agitation of minds hardens the feeling that it is me, which is ego. So it is the desire that propels for activity. Each desire, bit by bit, produces ego. Then the desire further continues, ego further continues. Higher the ego, multiple are the desire. Multiple are the desires, higher will be the ego. Mutually destructible weapon of mass destruction. And that being the reason, the one who has realized it, he would essentially think about two things. I should not desire, I should not desire, I should not desire. This is not going to help at all. Erudition is not of any use when it comes to practical sadhana. Then how do I practice this particular so-called karma phala tyaga? And then kartrutva tyaga. There are two types of bhrantis. Kartrutva bhranti, I am the doer, that fallacy. And I am the enjoyer, the phala, bhoktrutva bhranti. Which one should I handle first? All of a sudden, from tomorrow onwards, I will go to the office, I will drive the car, I will work in my office, but I will not remember that I am doing it. Not possible. Ahankara laya, asmita laya is the last stage of samadhi, is a higher end to be achieved. So where the practice of the sadhana should be concentrated on phala tyaga. Now, how do I do phala tyaga? I'm working in my office. Okay, if I don't get salary, fine. If I don't get promotion, fine. That is not falatyaga. Falatyaga is, I am doing my job and I'm getting paid for it. All right. How much did I do anything for others? Days pass by, hours pass by, months pass by, years pass by. We don't do anything for others in this world. As a cruel tragedy, we watch it on the TV that there is a poor man, he had nothing to eat, so he was eating grass in Kalahandi area of Odisha, and this is news from so-and-so channel, and we say, and then we talk to our wife or the friend that, you know what, such a poverty in India, such a problem here, but never think that what am I doing for it? Have I ever done anything for it? Forget doing to the world. Have I helped my own brother? No, but he did not behave with me properly in that marriage. How do you think the Lord can be compassionate to us? Every breath of ours, if it thinks of welfare of others, that is called living a life. And we have burning examples. Show me one incident in Gurudeva's life where he thought of himself. The highest of the knowledge he gave beyond his physical capacity. Gurudeva suffered from the heart attack. He had a bypass. He had another surgery. All that he treated as dirt. Why? Because I am here to educate, to distribute the Gita Jnanam. See the lofty intention of Gurudeva. Let us try to be worthy of even a small percentage of that. 100 dirhams I cannot take for giving it to the sadhus who are doing all the work anywhere. And I don't mind spending 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 dirhams on the phone. Look at our priorities. I have 40, 50, 60, 100 shirts in my cupboard, but never ever thought of those in this winter. In some corner, some small child is shivering with cold. Till the time we do not read the pain of others. This Yuktaha is also called as Vaishnava Jana. Who is Yuktaha? Karma Yogi. Who is he? Vaishnava Jana to tene kahiye pir parai jane re. Jeka ranzale ganzale त्यासी म्हणे जो आपुले तोची साधू ओळखावा देव तेथेची जाणावा. Tukaram Maharaj has called such a person living God, the one who burns himself for others. That is the way of defying the patterns of desire prompted patterns of the future. And then such a person is able to do the karma in such a manner that he is not even aware that he is doing karma. Why? Because karma happens from the mind. Na tu kayena, na vachena, manasa. Kaya and vacha are the exhibitory organs who exhibit the karma. But where does it origin? The origin of the bomb is in dynamite. The destruction may be huge and humongous, but the source lies in the dynamite. Similarly, sarva karmani moolam is in manasa. Mind. Why? Because vrittaya panchataya klesha aklesha. Patanjali Maharaj has told us. So that karma yogi, by virtue of utilizing karma in a yukta fashion, he is able to get rid of all the karmas from the manasa. Now a very important question comes. If mind is the one which is used for doing the karma, and this man has done manasa sannyasaste, he has already given up the karma from the mind, then how does he act? Gurudeva did no karma, but he was doing so much of karma. How do you reconcile this contradictory thing? He was doing Jnana Yajna, he was doing this, he was doing that. How? So sannyasyaste, and at the same time he was doing, Gurudeva said, get the papadam, Shrikhandam. Our own Prime Minister told us that Gurudeva was very fond of Shrikhandam. If he was fond of Shrikhandam, fond of papadam, he was teaching, he was laughing, giggling, teaching. And yet you say that he was not doing karma. How it is possible? So what is this manasa sanyasaste? Manasa sanyasaste is the work that is done through such a pure mind happens in an automatic manner, which is called Ishwarecha, which is called in technical language Badhit Anuvrutti. It's called Badhit Anuvrutti. The body felt hunger, so the food came, I must eat food. This is what Gurudeva also felt. But he felt it below this. Why? In Manasa, I would like to eat today, this didn't come. This is called Badhit Anuvrutti. Sarva karmani manasa sannyasaste. All the karmas at the altar of the mind, they are being completely gotten rid of. So down the line regarding the vacha and the physical act is naturally they are defunct. Sukham vashi. That is because he has a self-controlled. Now the question is, for him, his own body, how does he look towards his body? His body for him is nothing else but a structure with 9 holes. Pura. Pura, the word has come from the dhatu pru. Pru is to fill up. Purayati iti puraha. Pru is to fill up. Purushaha. This body, pura, is filled with Ishvara. So it is Purusha. Purisha, a lake is a lake, or a pond is called, or a body of water is called Purisha. Purisha, filled with water. To fill with. So for a karma yogi, how is the shariram? Navadvare. It is nothing else but a city which is filled with Chaitanya, which has 9 openings. Now, Navam and Dasham, the concept has been elaborated in Kathopanishada. But what is the concept? A compact thing covered with the skin everywhere has holes through which it interacts with the rest of the environment. To listen, to breathe, to talk, then to excrete and to urinate. And the Dasham Dwaram, which is there but we are not acquainted with, only the yogis are acquainted with, is called a Sahasrara at the top of the head. All our pranas are in tandem with the pranas of the rest of the world through the breathing. Those pancha pranas and pancha upapranas are constantly working inside to make this particular machine work. So this body, which is nothing else but the citadel or the city, is working under the influence of these dasha pranas, who, when decide to abdicate this body, they go out from one of the holes. Either the pranas go from the eyes or from, and last to go is Devadatta prana. So Devadatta goes and the body is over. It's just a Pancha Mahabhuta, dust. खाक से आए थे, खाक में मिल गए. Only in case of a yogi, by virtue of his control over the pranas, he uses the Dasham Dwara Sahasrara Chakra to release the pranas from here at will. Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Sant Alam Prabhu, they took Sanjivana Samadhi. Sanjivana Samadhi, they ordered the pranas, collect yourself, I'm leaving the body. And from the Sahasrara Chakra, the pranas mingled with the pranas of the outside. The question is, pranas leave the body, pranas, chalana valan is required for the body, but what is that pranena praniyate? Who is the main thing which even the pranas work under? That is a Chaitanyam. That Chaitanyam came inside the body and made the pranas move, and that is how the body is working. Now the question is, that Chaitanyam which came in this body came from where? Came from nowhere. Why nowhere? It is everywhere. Na atra, na tatra, sarvatra. If it is everywhere, then it came inside this body. How? And when pranas go, means Chaitanya goes, but remaining part of the body, even in the dust, there is a Chaitanya. So it doesn't go. The main thing is the Chaitanyam that is existing everywhere also comes here in the form of Shakti, which is a broader word whose refined aspects are nothing else but pranas and other aspects. And that is why the pranas also work under the Chaitanya. Now the question is, did the Chaitanya came in the body because he wanted to make this body work? If it is ever existing, then did it take a specific functionality and then came here? There is no functionality for Chaitanyam because Chaitanyam is not for any specific function. Then the question comes that how is it without Chaitanya the body doesn't move? Chaitanya by itself doesn't do anything. How to reconcile this? And the reconciliation is the sun keeps giving the light because sun is light. Sun gives light, we say, but sun itself is light. Now in that light, thousands of actions are done. A broad daylight murder happens in the sunlight. So we tomorrow will definitely pass a judgment that sun was involved into this murder. It cannot happen, sir. Why? If you don't commit the murder, sun will be still there. But I was doing a very pious act. Sun helped me. No, sun didn't help you also. Presence of sun is essential for you to function, but sun is not existing for your functionality. Let's try to understand this, because that is where na eva kurvan na karayan. Neither he does nor he forces or compels others to do. That means he does not say to the vacha that you speak. Then question comes, how did Gurudeva give the Jnana Yajna? Because I remember saying that Gurudeva said, next time we'll go to Bar and have Yajna, then we'll go to Hyderabad, we'll have a Jnana Yajna. No. Gurudeva was a Chaitanyamaya, Brahmasthita. He didn't do anything. Then who did the Jnana Yajna? He did the Jnana Yajna through Ishwarecha, through Badhita Anuvrutti, in the form of presence of Chaitanya. That is why such an act which is done from non-egocentric point is the largest act that the mankind can exhibit. That is why what Gurudeva did, we cannot do even 0.1%. Why? We are all egocentric. He worked from non-egocentric, and non-egocentric means from the Lord's standpoint. And that is why Navadware Pure Dehi. This Navadwara is so critical because karma sannyasa, Gurudeva has specifically said sannyasa is not a physical mere escapism but a mental withdrawal. By external appears you cannot be a sannyasi. Kanava phadale joti jogi jatwa badole. Gita baach ke hoi gale labra. Man na rangaye, rangaye jogi kapada. By external acts, we cannot get it. Nahate dhote rab mile to mile machiya dudiyan. Jangal fire rab mile to mile gaiya bachiyan. Pothi pad pad rab mile to mile brahmana joshiyanu. Quran pad pad rab mile to mile mulla kaziyanu. Rab to unhanu miliya buliya jina diliya sachiyanu. Jiska karma, the one whose karma is correct, he is the one going to get it. That is why one who is aware of the chaitanyam that is existing in his body and not aware, who has anubhuti, attainment of Atma Jnana, for him, he doesn't have to cry. Otherwise, as Kabir Maharaj says, Sanya nikas gaye main na ladi. इस महल के 10 दरवाजे कौन सी खिड़की खुली रही. Sanya nikasa gaye. The Chaitanya went, I never realized it. I never realized its presence. And that is the reason the 13th shloka is saying that such a person who has done sarva karmani manasa sannyasyaste, he is na eva kurvanna karyan. So there is no way in entire life of Gurudeva, we will never see a word, I did this sadhana, I went to Himalayas, I did. No, I in the entire life, any lecture you see, any of his I word is completely absent. That is the secret of Karma Yoga. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Sanjay ji. Sanjay ji is online. I have a small clarification. Hari Om, Sanjay ji, last pada of the shloka, Kurvan. Hello?
Ji.
Hari Om.
Yes. Yes.
That part, can you, there are two aspects to it. Neither he does nor does he incites action into others.
Yeah, it is in the Kurvan is while doing. It is present continuous tense. Kurvan is while doing. Yeah, kurvat. It is that way. While karayan, while causing to do. That is karayat. One is kurvat, one is karayat. One is while doing, one is while causing to do. Both are in present continuous tense. One, the agency of doing is himself, and another agency of doing is somebody else. What it means is it that he orders the vacha to do something? Or is it that he himself is doing and vacha is following? Either of these things do not happen. So when supposing Gurudev started walking, was he walking because he wanted to walk? No. So what about he kartrutvata? Zero. What about the karmendriya doing any action? That also happened on its own karmendriya. So neither the action from the origin point of view or the manifestation point of view, both are done as per Ishwara Ichha. Because when he is absent, when I is absent, he is present. So even if the action is happening, there must be some agency for that. The agency here is nothing else but the abhasita satta of the Chaitanya on which this is happening. And that is why every act done by Gurudev is godly act. Because God only was acting. He was a living God. Whosoever had his darshana is nothing else but darshana of God himself. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Sanjay ji. Thank you.